Today we'll be taking a look at the 10 desserts you won't believe exist. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn notifications on for more great videos like this one. At number 10, Ham and Bananas Hollandaise. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a dinner dish or a dessert dish, but considering the amount of glazed fruit, I'm going to assume the latter. This crazy creation calls for 6 medium bananas, lemon juice, 6 thin slices of boiled ham, hollandaise sauce, light cream, and 3 tablespoons of prepared mustard. And don't forget to top it with pineapple glaze and maraschino cherries. Hollandaise, just in case you didn't already know, is a lemon-flavoured butter sauce made with egg yolks. Its origin, although it sounds Dutch, is actually French. The first published description of this rich buttery sauce appears in La Varenne's 1653 cookbook, The French Cook. At number 9, it's the Fiesta Peach Spam Bake. How could one say no to a dessert filled with potted meat and canned fruit? I mean, questionable meat was all the rage in the 50s, and what's with the Fiesta in the title? I mean, while I can't speak for others, this clearly isn't a party I'd want to be invited to. According to the Oxford Encyclopedia of Food and Drink in America, Spam was invented as a way to sell pork shoulder during the Great Depression. Apparently, its name was chosen by Ken Dignew, the brother of a Hormel executive, via a naming contest in the 30s. Spam was meant to represent spiced ham. At number 8, the Cranberry Candle Salad. If you thought Cranberry Holiday Surprise was pushing it, just wait until you get a load of this recipe. Cranberry Candle Salad is exactly what it sounds like. A cranberry salad made with, you've guessed it, mayonnaise and gelatin. But wait, there's more. This salad doubles as a candle. Way to up the ante, Hellmans. Gelatin desserts weren't a thing until the end of the medieval era. Even then, some of the dishes were stabilised by pectin, a jelly-like substance found in the cell walls of fruits, instead of actual gelatin. At number 7, the Cranberry Holiday Surprise. Rule of thumb: anything with the word surprise in it should be avoided at all costs. I repeat, anything. Apparently, this fancy number was a holiday staple, and I thought regular old cranberry sauce was bad. Their selling point: it's even easier to make than regular fruit gelatin salads. Pretty enticing, considering everyone and their mother was addicted to fruit-filled gelatin back in the day. Curiously enough, mayonnaise used to be a fancy way to give a dish some pizzazz. According to Slate in 1838, Delmonico's, one of the most prestigious restaurants in Manhattan, offered restaurant goers a choice between chicken or lobster doused in mayonnaise. And number 6, the Rich Apple Fool. This looks wet and tasteless, which wouldn't surprise me at all considering it's filled with green colouring. Made with 2 pounds of cooking apples. Is there a difference between cooking apples and regular apples? Caster sugar, orange juice, or water, and cream, the Rich Apple Fool is definitely a dessert you'd want to skip out on. In ancient times, food colouring wasn't as scary and as toxic as it was in the 1800s. Back then, food colouring meant adding natural ingredients like herb and plant extracts and fruit and vegetable peelings to enhance the colour of certain foods. At number 5, it's the Prune Whip. If you're a fan of prunes, you may actually like this dish. Prune Whip is exactly what it sounds like. Pitted prunes, egg whites, a dash of salt, a pinch of sugar, and heavy cream, give or take a few ingredients, whipped together to form one grotesque concoction of a dessert. That like of ingredients alone is enough to make us shudder. While Prune Whip may sound like an elderly person's dessert, it's actually a children's dish. In the early 1900s, scientists found that kids had dietary needs that differed from their parents. Unfortunately, this meant bland recipes and simply prepared meals, including boiled potatoes, lamb chops, and yes, you guessed it, Prune Whip. In at number 4, we have the coffee jelly. I'm all for coffee-infused desserts, but this recipe is a bit much. The title alone gives me the chills. Who wants their coffee in gelatin form? Not me, that's for sure. This recipe is a 4-ingredient disaster. Hot, strong coffee, sugar, envelopes of unflavoured gelatin, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. To make matters worse, the recipe suggests topping this monstrosity with custard sauce. No thank you. In the 1400s, gelatin was used as a way to temporarily postpone spoilage for jelly-covered meats and veggies. Because the majority of Catholics refrained from eating meats on Fridays, late medieval cooks created fish jellies. At number 3, happiness tree cake and Christmas pudding cake. Apparently, these 2 outrageously sweet dishes were a Christmas time favourite in the 60s. After eating all that sugar, you'd have to be delusional. The Christmas pudding cake calls for 50 marshmallows. That's insane. Let's not forget about those oh so good for you butter icings. These cakes are the equivalent of eating too much raw cookie dough, even though your mother said not to. Fun fact, did you know that the marshmallow is actually a plant? It can be found in Europe and Western Asia and can grow as tall as 6 foot. What's even weirder is that marshmallows were used in the 9th century BCE to heal wounds and soothe sore throats. The Greeks created a balm from the plant's sap to aid bee stings and toothaches. Who would have thought that this sticky sweet s'mores ingredient could have so many uses? In at number 2, it's the larder cake. Now, nobody's a stranger to lard. Even so, I'd never actually eat it. Lard is literally the fattiest part of the pig. While many argue that it's a healthier alternative to butter, I beg to differ. It's packed with saturated fat. Sorry, Marguerite, but anyone who's willing to eat a larder cake is asking for a heart attack. However, if you are interested in giving this treat a try, know that it's a traditional English treat that's typically served on holidays. And according to My Favourite English Recipes and History on Facebook, this cake dates back to the 15th century. At number 1, it's tuna jello pie. First of all, jello and tuna shouldn't be anywhere near each other, especially not combined in a dessert. In 1965, however, Betty Crocker didn't seem to mind the strange combination. In fact, she described her creation, which is filled with lemon-flavoured gelatin, tomato sauce, vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, pimiento stuffed olives and tuna salad as being pretty as could be. Despite this dish's cringeworthy ingredients, gelatin salads and pies were quite popular even before the 50s and 60s. In fact, jelly treats like this one date back to medieval Europe. Back then, these dishes were reserved for the elite, served as fancy moulded centerpieces on the tables of nobility. Why? Well, because rendering collagen from animal bones isn't exactly a walk in the park. According to Lynn Bellicio, the executive director of the Leroy Historical Society, the process is time-consuming and not for the faint-hearted. So what did you think of our countdown of the 10 desserts you won't believe exist? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Film Jumbo and turn notifications on for more great videos like this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.